Hello, Colonels. I'm Jacob Latimer.
And I'm Jada Hamby. Welcome to the Colonel Cast.
On today's episode, we'll discuss what's going on with the coronavirus, sports update with Luke Payne, what's new with Kirsten and Drew, some highlights of the FBLA regional competition, a few announcements, and more.
Let's get into it.
WHO has been assessing this outbreak around the clock, and we're deeply concerned both by the alarming levels of spread and severity and by the alarming levels of inaction. We have therefore made the assessment that COVID-19 can be characterized as a pandemic. Pandemic is not a word to use lightly or carelessly. It's a word that, if misused, can cause unreasonable fear or unjustified acceptance that the fight is over, leading to unnecessary suffering and death. Describing the situation as a pandemic does not change WHO's assessment of the threat posed by the virus. It doesn't change what WHO is doing, and it doesn't change what countries should do. We have never been before seen a pandemic sparked by a coronavirus. This is the first pandemic caused by a coronavirus. And we have never before seen a pandemic that can be controlled at the same time. WHO has been in full response mode since we were notified of the first cases. And we have called every day for countries to take urgent and aggressive action.
The talk of the world for the past month has been the coronavirus, with over 116,000 cases confirmed worldwide. China is being hit the worst, with over 80,000 cases, while the U.S. remains at just under 800.
The death rate worldwide is just over 4,000, while the recovery rate is at 65,000. With the virus spreading through the U.S., precautions are being taken locally and nationally.
If there's that, especially the senior who needs groceries, let's go for them. Let's know where we have low risk, and let's step up and do that work to help the people that need our help. To every Kentuckian worried out there, yes, we're going to have to take some steps that disrupt our daily lives, but we are going to get through this. We're going to get through it together.
Tonight, I want to speak with you about our nation's unprecedented response to the coronavirus outbreak that started in China and is now spreading throughout the world. Today, the World Health Organization officially announced that this is a global pandemic. We have been in frequent contact with our allies, and we are marshaling the full power of the federal government and the private sector to protect the American people. This is the most aggressive and comprehensive effort to confront a foreign virus in modern history. I am confident that by counting and continuing to take these tough measures, we will significantly reduce the threat to our citizens, and we will ultimately and expeditiously defeat this virus. After consulting with our top government health professionals, I have decided to take several strong but necessary actions to protect the health and well-being of all Americans. To keep new cases from entering our shores, we will be suspending all travel from Europe to the United States for the next 30 days. The new rules will go into effect Friday at midnight. These restrictions will be adjusted subject to conditions on the ground. There will be exemptions for Americans who have undergone appropriate screenings, and these prohibitions will not only apply to the tremendous amount of trade and cargo, but various other things as we get approval. Anything coming from Europe to the United States is what we are discussing. These restrictions will also not apply to the United Kingdom. At the same time, we are monitoring the situation in China and South Korea. And as their situation improves, we will reevaluate the restrictions and warnings that are currently in place for a possible early opening. The vast majority of Americans, the risk is very, very low. Young and healthy people can expect to recover fully and quickly if they should get the virus. The highest risk is for elderly population with underlying health conditions. The elderly population must be very, very careful. In particular, we are strongly advising that nursing homes for the elderly suspend all medically unnecessary visits. In general, older Americans should also avoid non-essential travel in crowded areas. My administration is coordinating directly with communities with largest outbreaks, and we have issued guidance on school closures, social distancing, and reducing large gatherings. Smart action today will prevent the spread of the virus tomorrow. To provide extra support for American workers, families, and businesses, tonight I am announcing the following additional actions. I am instructing the Small Business Administration to exercise available authority to provide capital and liquidity to firms affected by the coronavirus. Effective immediately, the SBA will begin providing economic loans in affected states and territories. These low-interest loans will help small businesses overcome temporary economic disruptions caused by the virus. To this end, I am asking Congress to increase funding for this program by an additional $50 billion. Using emergency authority, I will be instructing the Treasury Department to defer tax payments without interest or penalties for certain individuals and businesses negatively impacted. This action will provide more than $200 billion of additional liquidity to the economy. Finally, I am calling on Congress to provide Americans with immediate payroll tax relief. Hopefully, they will.
Earlier this week, Henderson County Schools put out a statement in response to the virus. Superintendent Morgana Stanley stated that we will continue our sanitizing and disinfecting procedures in our buildings and on our buses. If you are looking for ways to help, donations of tissues, hand sanitizers, and wipes are always welcome in our schools.
Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear is expected to sign an executive order to improve the economic issues that come with the coronavirus, testing and treatment, removing any blockades for patients getting tested or treated.
Since the coronavirus is such a large issue right now, we decided to talk to some of you about it.
Have you been taking the coronavirus seriously?
No, I don't see it very serious.
Are y'all taking the coronavirus seriously?
We were just talking about it, actually.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's why we're not going to RUP.
Are you taking the coronavirus seriously?
Yes. No.
Are you taking the coronavirus seriously?
No. No.
All right. Are y'all taking the coronavirus seriously?
No.
Not really.
It's just a common cold, but it lasts long.
Y'all taking corona seriously?
Yes. Yeah. Kind of. Yeah. If I
It's pretty scary.
What do you think we should do about it?
Close everything.
How wouldn't that affect the economy and stuff?
I don't know.
I mean, I think it's like any other code, you know. Just protect yourself and make sure you're doing right. You know? Be right.
What do you think like schools and communities should do to prevent it from spreading?
Wipe down anything that everybody touch. You know, just like I said, say to yourself as much as possible.
Thank you.
Coronavirus is like the flu on Adderall, so I just think that people should just wash your hands, which you should have been doing before, and, you know, protect yourself. Stay home if you're sick.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I feel like people should educate themselves a lot on it, and by that I don't mean listen to what your grandma says or to what your mom says or to what your cousins tell you or to what you hear in the locker room. I mean look up the numbers and see that it might be overhyped a little bit in the media, but it's definitely something you should be concerned about, and not even for your own well-being. But when you have a grandparent who is at risk of dying and there's a 5.8% death rate in densely populated areas, which we have a lot of those in the United States, it can cause big concern, and we need to start prepping right now. So,
Thank you for voicing your opinions. It sounds like we all have a lot to think about with this potential threat.
I'm standing here with Cassidy Coombs, who just won first place in her event in FBLA. Can you tell me what event you competed in and what that means to you, winning first place?
I won healthcare administration, and for my future in college, I want to go into nursing or a medical field, so this kind of gives me some more experience and confidence to go into that.
What do you plan on doing with your winnings?
We get to go to state, and hopefully we win there.
All right, thank you. Everybody wish Cassidy Coombs good luck at state. All right, Landon, was this your first time going to FBLA?
Yeah.
Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, I did.
What was your favorite part?
Being on campus at Murray.
All right, awesome.
I'm here to fulfill your needs and to help you have a successful future. I'm a junior from Henderson County High School. I have loved FBLA from the moment I stepped foot in my school. My platform is to be the voice of the people, the messenger. I promise to try my absolute best to hear, listen to everyone's opinions, ideas.
Dylan Moore is the best choice for Region 1 because I do promise to get the job done. And as your regional reporter, I'm asking for your likes, your shares, and hopefully your follow. And as time TikToks on throughout the year, I will keep you informed and aware of all the events that occur at Region 1 FBLA. I wish you all the best of luck on your events, and thank you for your time. And remember, vote Dylan, I do, to get more for you, no cap.
Do you accept this responsibility and promise to fulfill your duties to the best of your ability?
I do.
In the name of Region 1 FBLA, I now declare you Secretary.
Do you accept this responsibility and promise to fulfill your duties to the best of your ability?
Dylan, I do.
In the name of Region 1 FBLA, I now declare you the reporter.
This is Miss Robinson. She's going to give us a little overview of what all went down in FBLA.
Okay, so we went and competed Monday, March 9th. We had about 60 kids that went. We had 5 winners. We also got second largest organization in the Region 1, which is amazing. We have almost 150 members. Kids were able to go and meet a lot of people and get to see campus, which is always fun.
Hey County, you ready to hear what's new? So, game shows like Jeopardy and Wheel of Fortune have had to shut down their live audiences due to the spreading of the coronavirus throughout the U.S.
Speaking of live audiences, people everywhere have been recording Post Malone acting really weird, and everyone's very concerned about him.
Everyone's comparing him to Amy Winehouse and how she started to decline before she died.
Which is really sad, and let's hope that doesn't happen to Post Malone.
Yep.
Yep.
All right, so I'm sure you guys have heard the debate between Spotify and Apple Music. So next week we're going to go out and we're going to ask you guys what you think.
Spotify's superior.
I completely agree. Well, that's all for this week's segment of What's New.
See you next time, County.
Peace.
Thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of the Colonelcast.
We really hope you enjoyed it. As always, follow us on social media at Colonelcast, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube Colonelcast. Watch it in your free time if you want.
Thank you guys.
Have a good week.
Jada and Jake are signing.
Yep.
Okay. Hey, what's up? I'm Seth Watkins. Welcome to What's Poppin'. I'm here by myself this week. And how about that feature story, huh? Jacob and Jada sure did have a lot to say about it, didn't they? It was amazing. A couple other people mixed in there. Kirsten and Drew. Me. Some interviews, maybe. I don't know. I haven't watched the episode yet. But you are. You're watching it right now. You're done watching it. Credits are rolling. Look at that name. Bye. See you guys next Thursday. Bye. And then cut it right there. Awesome. It's a for you, Edgar. Might be me. Probably not. I'll do it.
Catch that. Hello, Colonels. I'm Jacob.
Sorry.
Clip it short. Wow.
I didn't know why y'all were laughing. Okay. Oh.
Did you know that smiling actually improves your mood? Like,
Let's do it.
I feel a little better.
What was your favorite part?
Right now.
Go wash your hands right now. Thank you for tuning into this week's squeaky clean episode of the CCN.
That was terrible. Let's do it again, Steve.
All right.
Make sure to like, subscribe, and tweet us at what?
No.
Let me be that, and you be you be me.
Go
Thank you for tuning into this week's episode of the Colonel Cast.
We hope you enjoyed it. As always, follow.
I was gonna say squeaky clean.
Well, we have rivers this week.